I am literally just back from seeing Weapons with my dad, and I don't want to get killed. However, I was disappointed. Don't get me wrong, I still fucking love this movie. However, endings don't seem to be a strong suit for Zach Kreger, since Barbarian didn't stick the landing either. Now, I want to give my complete raw thoughts here, so I want to give a full spoiler warning. I'm going to go into everything. Okay. So I love the formatting where we see different perspectives of the same timeline. However, I feel like Justine's arc was not given a proper conclusion, which I get that he didn't want to hand feed us all the information and not everything has a clear-cut ending all the time. I get that, but from a story point of view, we don't have any resolution for her whatsoever. Like, her sleeping with a married man, her alcoholism, the entire town thinking that she's this witch, and thinking that she has something to do with the disappearance of the children. That's not really resolved at all. Like, it's not stated that she was cleared. It's not stated that anything, really. Which it kind of disappointed me, because she is a really nice and compelling character. She's a really nice and compelling character, however, has her naive edges, which I love, and give a realistic point of view to what would ordinarily be like a dumb horror movie action, right? Archer, I feel like, was very cliche. I do like, however, that they gave him that moment where he was sleeping in his son's bed because he misses his son. I like that they gave such a masculine character a vulnerable moment, because yeah, his child is missing, he's going to be upset. It would be abnormal if he wasn't upset. It's kind of abnormal that his wife is just like, yeah, I'm gonna go to work when he's in the bed, like, grieving his lost son. Also, love the Justin Long cameo. I love him. Loved him in Jeepers Creepers. Loved him. Well, I love Justin Long in Barbarian. I did not love Justin Long's character in Barbarian. I was a little disappointed with what happened with Marcus. Like, it was the cruelest way to bury your gays. They introduced his husband, so it's like, oh, they're gay, and then, like, however many minutes later, it's like, oh, we're gonna make him kill his husband. For what reason? It's yet to be seen. Because yeah, we're not given a rounded conclusion. And Alex, I feel like, received a good arc. He was fantastically written. The child actor, amazing in the role. He was really compelling. I loved that they gave him the action of ending Gladys, and I feel like he has an appropriate conclusion without feeding you too much, without hand feeding you too much. I particularly loved the scene of him feeding his bully to keep him alive, him looking after his bully, because it showed that while obviously you're not gonna, fuck with him, he's a caring little boy, and that's lovely. And it also represents parentification. I fucking love Gladys. Her character design is amazing. She's so unique. She's so eccentric. She's so weird. I adore her. I just wish there were some deeper level to her, I guess. I'm aware that she has obvious motivations as a witch. Like, she wants to feed off of the children. Like, we don't even get a hint as to what higher power she's using, as to what the fuck the spells are, like, as to what the fuck she's doing in this town specifically, as to, anything about her, which I 100% get. You're trying to leave it to, like, audience interpretation. However, I feel like we should have been given more. I feel like Gladys needed a little bit more context, just a tiny bit, not too overboard, just something else. Like, was that really her sister? I don't know. But we don't really get any answers from Gladys in the end, which I understand. And I'm sure I'll have people mad at me for not getting it. It's kind of the point. But it just makes it less compelling if there's nothing else to her. And also, I haven't talked about Paul the policeman yet. I feel for Paul. He was definitely compelling. The actor definitely sold it to me, and he helped sell the fact that Justine is not as good as she can be. She's not as good as you think. However, she didn't, steal children. She's not fantastic. Neither is he. I also loved the James point POV. Just, like, to get an insight into what it's like being a drug addict was definitely interesting, and he was a funny comedic character as well, but, like, apart from that, he was really funny, but he was also compelling, and I think they did that really well. But yeah, ultimately, the ending didn't really hit for me. The only arcs that were really concluded were Archer's and Alex's. Paul's dead. Paul is dead. Marcus is dead. Gladys is dead. Loved the death scene. Loved Gladys's death scene. I would have really liked a concrete ending for Justine's arc, not just specifically the story. And I get that it's being told in the kind of this is like a local legend format, but I would have liked some more of her, and I would have liked some more of Gladys. Well, Gladys's arc wasn't really finished. She was just killed, I guess. I loved the style of the movie. I loved the different POVs. I loved that we sometimes saw scenes from one character's perspective and then another. That was beautifully done. I loved the freakish little way that the children run. I loved the concept of Gladys being a witch. You don't see many horror films that actually sell the scariness of witches these days, and Gladys sells it. Gladys is scary. And the movie also delves into deeper themes like alcoholism and mob mentality. The whole town was just ready to stone Justine. But yeah, those are all of my thoughts that I can think of just now. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you agree or disagree. I know there was a lot of hype around this film even after it came out, and everybody is saying it's a 5-star. I still love this movie, but I disagree with it being hyped up so much. People are saying it's better than Sinners. I disagree, but that is a high bar, and I've still given this film a 4.5 star. Just that half knocked off because the ending just didn't land for me. But yeah, that's it. See you later.